Hey everyone, welcome back to the Earthy Goodness Kitchen. Today we're making some delicious spring herb and courgette patties, and we're going to serve them two ways. First in a burger, and then with some dip and salad. So let's get straight into this and start making these patties. We'll start by preparing the courgette for these patties. So I've just got half a large courgette and I'm going to coarsely grate it. Careful of your fingers when you get to the last bit. We'll then just place this courgette into a sieve, then go in with a nice pinch of salt, and then I'm going to just mix that straight through the courgette. Get it nicely distributed through, and then we'll just set this aside and we're going to squeeze out the moisture once the salt has done its work. Next we've got some extra firm tofu, which I'm just going to crumble into a bowl. You could use firm tofu, but you'll probably need to press it first, and you may need to add more binder so that these patties don't fall apart. You want it to be quite a fine crumb. If it's got large pieces in, then the patties are likely to fall apart when fried. I've got a beautiful selection of fresh herbs here. We've got some mint, some dill, and some parsley. And I'm just going to bundle these all together and then just sort of roll them into a tight bunch. And that's going to help us finely chop them. Keeping your finger tucked in, and then you use your knuckle to guide the knife. Just make sure the blade doesn't go above your knuckle. So just use it to guide it through. And just take it slowly, always moving your fingers back and keeping them tucked in, most importantly. And then you can go through them once the other way as well. And you definitely don't need to use all three herbs. You could use just two of them, or even just pick your favorite one. I've then got some spring onions or some scallions to carry on with the sort of spring vibes that we've got going. And I'm just going to finely slice these. Okay, the courgette is looking good. I'm going to squeeze it as dry as we possibly can. Get out all that moisture. Next up, we're going to zest in one garlic clove. And then because we've got a lot of fresh ingredients in there, we're going to add some light soy sauce for a bit of umami, depth of flavor. Also going to add a teaspoon of whole grain mustard, lemon juice for even more wonderful fresh flavor. A little ground coriander. This is also nice and citrusy and sort of floral. For the binders, I'm going to use tapioca starch, which adds an almost bouncy texture to these, which is really nice. And I'm also using some oat flour, which I've just quickly blended up. Everyone, just editing this video, and I wanted to quickly say that I made these patties a couple days later, but this time I added in a couple tablespoons of breadcrumbs, and I do think it did improve the texture. I made them slightly lighter, which was nice. So if you do have some breadcrumbs, throw a few in, but if not, they'll still be delicious. And that is everything. Just going to add a grating of black pepper to finish, and we can start mixing things up. So I'm just going to do it with my hand. That is definitely the easiest way to do it, but you could of course do this with a spoon. As soon as you start mixing, you just get so many incredible aromas hitting your face. Fresh herbs, spring onion, lemon juice, mustard. Smells amazing. I'll do a couple of burger shaped ones first, and then we'll make the smaller ones, which will be going on the spread with the salad. So I just roll it up into a ball, and then I place it into a ring mold and just give it a good squidging down. Get it nice and compacted. There we go. And I like to pop these in the fridge just for 10 minutes or so to let them firm up a touch. And then we'll shape the smaller ones. It can help to have a little water to dip your fingers into. That's going to stop the mix from sticking to your hands. If you're enjoying my videos and my recipes, be sure to sign up to my Patreon page. As a member, you can get early access to videos, recipe PDFs, and bonus content. Just scan this QR code, or there'll be a link in the description box. So I'll just roll it into a ball. Obviously a smaller amount of the mixture now. And then in the palm of your hand, and just lightly pat it down. Then I'll just repeat for the rest of the mixture. Okay, so we've ended up with 9 small patties and this extra small one and the 2 burgers. So in here I've got about 2.5 bulbs of garlic and I've just peeled the cloves. And I'm going to add a couple sprigs of rosemary, 1 bay leaf, and that's it. All you need to do now is cover the garlic cloves in oil. You can use any neutral oil, or I'm going to be using olive oil today. And this oil isn't wasted. You're going to get the most amazing aromatic garlic, rosemary and bay leaf infused oil, which you can use to cook with. So just make sure they are all covered. And you want to cook these on the lowest heat possible that you can go with your hob. You don't want them frying or for the oil to be bubbling really, the lowest heat you can go. These have been cooking for about 30 minutes now and they're going to be lovely and soft, mellow in flavor and a really nice sort of sweet note. And you'll see that you can just sort of smush them into this amazing garlic paste. They're still quite hot though. You've also now got this incredible infused oil, which you can keep in the fridge. Okay, so for our really lovely and umami butter bean spread, we're of course going to start with some butter beans or any sort of white bean that you've got. I'm then going to add some lemon juice for acidity, a nice sort of heaped teaspoon of white miso, and then 3 of the confit garlic cloves. That would be a lot if it was fresh, but since it's confit, it's going to be lovely and sweet and mellow. I'm also going to add a tablespoon or 2 of the confit garlic oil. And that's it, a quick grating of black pepper. I'll probably add a splash of water if it needs it, just to get it nice and smooth. Give it a quick wipe down if it needs it. And that's a lovely creamy white bean, confit garlic and miso spread or dip. We bought Poppy the biggest bed we could possibly fit, and this is how she sleeps. 2 legs in, rest of the body out. What do you have to say for yourself? So we'll pan fry the smaller patties now in some olive oil, just for a few minutes on each side. Start at 12 o'clock and then go around the pan so that you know which one to flip first. I've got these on a medium to medium-low heat to ensure they don't burn before they cook through. Okay, these are looking great. Nice and golden brown. And then once they're lovely and golden and brown on both sides, then we're ready to serve. And I'm going to serve these with the white bean dip. And a very simple rocket and fennel salad. And I've got a ton of salad dressing from a video I filmed for my Patreon page. This is nice French vinaigrette with shallot and herbs. So there you go, that is one way of serving up these herby courgette patties. This is a sort of lighter version to the burger. Yummy. This is a perfect spring dish. It's light, it's herby, it's fresh. You've got a delicious dip to put them in, and I can definitely see myself eating this outside in the sun. The small patties we're going to pan fry, but for the burgers, I'm going to give them a go in the air fryer. So I'm just going to brush them lightly with some olive oil, on both sides of course. And then I'll put them in the air fryer with the crisper basket and cook them, I reckon, for around 12 to 15 minutes. Definitely going to flip them halfway as well. And we'll see how they turn out. Okay, the air fried burgers have been a success, I would say. They're really nice and golden and crispy on the outside, which is great. And as you can see, it is staying together nicely. I can throw it around, not that you would want to do that, but just to demonstrate, and it is still standing strong, which is exactly what you want for a burger, of course. Okay, so for the burgers, I want to do it a little bit different. So we're going to make a quick tomato and red pepper chutney. So into a pan, I'm adding some finely chopped spring onion. Then we'll go in with some garlic and chili. Keep things moving. And then once you see a touch of color on that garlic, we'll go in with the red pepper. That's some diced roast pepper from a jar, and then some diced tomato as well. Okay, this is looking good. We're going to add a nice pinch of salt now, and a grating of black pepper. Then for acidity, I'm doing a splash of sherry vinegar. And then to make this sort of a nice jammy consistency, you can either use maple syrup or some brown sugar. And then I'll just turn down the heat and let that simmer away until it's really nice and thick and jammy. While this is cooking, I'm just going to give it a light crushing with a fork. Just get all the juices out of the tomato and the red pepper as well, and turn it into a nice sort of jammy consistency. Ready for our burger. You could also use a potato masher. Okay, that's looking really nice. We'll let it continue to simmer and thicken up. And there you go, you've got a really lovely, spicy and sweet roast pepper and tomato chutney ready for your burger. Are you team toast bun or not toast the buns? Personally, I definitely like to toast them, just in a little olive oil or butter. This helps keep them from going soggy when you start adding in condiments and of course the burger. Just a quick toasting makes all the difference in my opinion. Start with a nice dollop of that white bean spread on the bottom bun. And then on goes that Herby tofu patty. Tangy and sweet roast pepper and tomato chutney. And then just top it off. Okay, let's give the burger a go. Delicious. Just as good, if not better, with that sweet and tangy roast pepper and tomato chutney. Thank you for watching. If you've got more time on your hands, then check out this video.